You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, House Committee on Good Governance and Public Accountability Chairperson Florida Robes, Congresswoman. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Magtatanong na po ako, ano ho ba ang nangyari? What did you discover in yesterday's House hearing tungkol nga dito sa naunsyame, hindi natuloy na importation of 300,000 metric tons of sugar?
Yung yesterday's talagang nagalit ang mga kasama natin sa Kongreso, higit sa lahat para mabigyan pansin yung kalakasan ng ating mga magsasaka na tinamaan, especially sa Visayan Block. Yung sa Visayas kasi doon talaga naman ang main source of our sugar.
Opo. But
cane sugar.
The only person who showed up among, let's say, the DA officials, no, ex-DA officials or sugar regulatory board members, ang nakita ko lang po was ex-DA Yusek Sebastian. Am I correct, ma'am?
Actually, they're all in Zoom. Walang nagpakita ni isa.
Yes.
Walang nagpakita ni isa. Talagang pinagalitan nga sila ni Congressman Borzaga. But me, I already asked them to come on supposedly Thursday, but we're gonna push you with the meeting on Monday para mas kompleto.
So instead of Thursday, this will happen on Monday na?
Yes, because of some technical. Yeah, I'm still waiting for publication in Congress para magtuloy-tuloy yung aking in aid of legislation.
You know, Congresswoman, I saw parts of it, and it was Undersecretary Sebastian over Zoom who signed it. This approval. Did you find out why it was signed without the approval from the President as DA Secretary? Because it really all, to me, boils down to that. It's a sugar order number 4 that wanted an importation of 300,000 metric tons of sugar, and then which was signed by the DA Undersecretary, the board members of the Sugar Regulatory Administration. And then you have the DA Secretary, the President himself saying, no. That did not have my go signal.
Yes, I agree with you that there's no go signal. At the same time, if you're asking me if I find it out, if there is, as of the moment, none. But in my assumption, I think there's a pressure coming from several industries, and hindi dapat ginawa yun. It is beyond boundaries, beyond lines.
But can you imagine that, Congresswoman? Sabihin lang natin, let's use your line of thought, no, na there could have been pressure. So, ginawa po nila ito, naka-affix po yung kanilang signature, and yet your DA Secretary happens to be your President? Hindi ho ba you would be a little bit more careful o matatakot ka man lang na gawin yon without the say-so ng Pangulo?
Yes, I agree with you also. Pero alam mo, speaking kahapon when he was delivering his speech, no, towards the committee, parang masyado siyang determined sa sinasabi niya. Well, para sa akin, nagkamali ka na nga, nagsorry ka na nga, pero you keep on pushing that it was known. I don't think so. Kasi una, nakakausap niya ang Pangulo for previous days, no? Nagre-report siya every day. So bakit kailangan mong ipirma ang Pangulo na nakakausap mo ang Pangulo na nakakapag-report ka at hinihintay sa'yo na magbigay ka ng importation plan? Kasi we have to look back, may SO3 pa, Sugar Order 3,
Opo.
na hindi pa nila naliliquidate kung kanino at saan dinala. Yun.
At
so
hindi lang
ngayon,
yun.
Siyempre, SO4,
Opo. Sorry to cut you, Congresswoman. Sorry to cut you, but when you talked about sugar order number 4, from what I understood in yesterday's hearing, that's 200,000 metric tons, and so far, only about 165,000 were brought in or delivered. Tama ho ba yun?
No. There's no delivery at all because the 300 metric tons cost around 9 billion pesos. So yun yung this is my second time saying it in public dahil ayoko pa talaga mag-divulge ng any figure or any amount or anything dahil Monday ko pa talaga to sasabihin. But of course, you could really see na malinis yung linyada ng Pangulo na ayaw niyang maapektuhan ng ating mga magsasaka. Pangalawa, gusto niyang mapakinabangan ng ating mga millers kung ano man ang kanilang mga tinanim. Dahil September to August ay crop season, then ngayong August ay simula na ng pagmimil. So in short, kung may sinasabi silang shortage, matutugunan yung shortage na hindi naman buo, hindi 100%, then we could import. Yun lang ang gustong malaman ng Pangulo kung ilan ba ang porsyento ng kakulangan para yun lang ang import kasi ayaw ng Pangulo na tamaan ang ating mga laborers at magsasaka.
Yeah,
Yan.
but let's go back to that sugar order number 3. So ito kasing in contention si Fore. Please correct me again if I'm wrong, ma'am. From what I understood yesterday, there was a sugar order number 4 that allowed the importation of 200,000 metric tons, and this was not fulfilled. Kumbaga, meron pa pong kulang na 30,000 metric tons or so na hindi pa po fulfilled. Hindi ho ba that was also discovered yesterday?
Oh yes, that was an SO3, not 4. Kasi yung 4, it was canceled eh. So, sugar order number 3 and sugar order number 4. Magkaruktong po iyon. So by Monday, we will be discussing everything in detail para po mas maintindihan na nakakarami. Kasi medyo, I'm not yet still allowed to divulge anything about the inquiry because on Monday, it is definite already na inquiry na po yun on Monday.
What?
So yung sugar SO3 and SO4 will be discussed separately and i-align na po natin itong dalawang ito kung bakit nagagalit ang Pangulo.
Opo, that's something that needs to be discovered. But it was also yesterday in news reports as well na lumabas. Here's where it's a little confusing, at least I'll say for someone like me. Is there a shortage or not? Because sinasabi po ng SINAG, may shortage. Ang sinasabi naman po ng Philippine Sugar Millers Association, Mr. Lobregat, I think, was also on Zoom. He said that kung na-realize daw po, these are not the exact words, na-realize daw po yung sugar order number 3, then we won't be experiencing or seeing these high prices in sugar. So talagang kailangan balikan tong sugar number 3 order number 3 rather.
Yes, it is true. And at the same time, ang ating dapat i-import, if ever, ay yung refined. Kasi we have two kinds of sugar, the raw and the refined sugar. So for now, ang nakikita po natin based on PSA, wala namang kakulangan. So ang sinasabi po ng SINAG ay kung meron man, okay, dapat mag-import pero hindi naman ganun kalaki. Because the cost of the sugar to be imported on the SO number 4 is around 9 billion pesos. So masyadong malaki po yun. Kawalan po yun. Pag dinuktong po natin sa ating mga manggagawa at magsasaka, malaki pong kawalan po yun at sa ating mga investors. Kung na-realize po yung SO number 3 because hindi naman po talaga ito napunta sa dapat mapuntahan, kundi sa isang sektor lamang.
Yes.
Yun po kasi is very important, no? Very important po yung kung kanino napupunta.
Yun po,
At
natumbok niyo po yun. Natumbok niyo po yun. Yeah, because
hindi ko pa po, Miss Pinky, sorry hindi ko pa talaga pwedeng i-divulge.
no, but well, it's stuff that's come out in the news because parang lumalabas dito sa sugar order number 3. Let's separate number 4. It supposedly went to the industrial sector. Yun po yung narinig ko. Anyway, I understand what you're saying. Very important, Congresswoman, si sugar order number 3 malaman talaga. Ilan na na-fulfill ba si 200,000 metric tons? Kanino po ito napunta? Because the President is also saying that we may need to import 150,000 metric tons by October. That came out in his announcement on his social media page. So mukhang kakailanganin ho talaga ng importation.
Yeah. But not too big, but not that much. Ang laki kasi nung nakalagay sa SO4
300,000.
So, hindi ganon.
Yeah, it's 300. It's double, actually. Just as a last question, Congresswoman, and I hope we get to talk to you again next week. What happens pagka hindi po magpakita yung mga inimbitahan nyo that could be considered as the main respondents to the hearing on Monday?
If they don't come, we will be citing them in contempt. At the same time, if they don't come again, definitely we will be coming up with charges towards them. But hindi kami. We will ask the Ombudsman or anybody from the Constitutional Commission to do it for us. Because our committee is not to prosecute a person or it's not us. We just have to detail, check kung ano po ang nangyari.
Congresswoman Florida.
Give the report.
Opo, Congresswoman Florida Robes, ma'am, I hope to speak to you again next week. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Thank you.
Nice talking to you, Miss Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.